Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's post-match press conference after a game against Nashville. We have head coach Pascal Jansen. If we have any questions, please raise your hand. We'll get started with Scott.
Hey, Coach. How are you? Scott Church and Stream Punk Soccer.
Hi, Scott.
Hey. Obviously, tough final loss, basically going into the break now at this point. What did you say to the guys in the locker room, and also any news on Malachi? Thanks.
Malachi has to be seen. He fell. It wasn't the first fall with the pen. It was another one, I believe, what the medical staff told me just now. So he had something going on with his shoulder. So we'll have to find out what the problem is. And what did I tell the guys? Well, if you play away against the current number one in the league, and you can see the way that we can see today is asking for unnecessary problems. I think overall I was just watching the moments that we created ourselves compared to the moments they created. I think for an away game against the number one, with the possibilities that we had, we should have done better and at least got a draw here. But being a little too naive in our case cost us today's game.
Chris?
Hey, Coach. Chris Cameron from the outfield.
Hi, Chris.
You talked about Malachi suffering that shoulder injury earlier in the game.
Mm-hmm.
There seemed to be a lot of communication between Malachi and the sideline throughout the first half, and then at halftime. I'm just curious as to what the the discussions were between Malachi and the coaching staff, and then ultimately, was he subbed off due to injury or was it some other reason? Thank you.
I'm not sure what you're referring to in what kind of communication there was with the medical staff or with the technical staff between Malachi and those parties. Can you clarify that?
Yeah, there just seemed to be a lot of, gesturing from Malachi on the pitch toward what appeared to be the sideline.
Oh, right. No, the thing was, obviously he needed treatment when he fell, and it was very unclear why he had to leave the pitch, because apparently rule-wise it wasn't necessary for him to leave the pitch. So there was there was some discussion going out on between the fourth official and the referee to what action should be taken. So we had to wait, and eventually he was allowed to come back onto the pitch. And we were aware that he had some issues with his shoulder, but was ready to go again. Assessed him again during halftime. And he could continue. When we did sub him off, shoulder, of course, did hurt, but it was mainly him getting close to cramping. So that was the reason why we subbed him off.
Michael?
Pascal, it's Mike Ander from Blue City Radio.
Hi, Mike.
It felt like the substitutions you made at the end when you brought on Kevin Perea were aggressive substitutions. What kind of message were you trying to send to your team in saying, "Hey, I'm not stepping back as the coach. You guys shouldn't step back either"?
No, that's exactly it. That was the intention from the start. Unfortunately, we concede a goal where we give away a corner and we don't defend well enough from our own principle perspective, because the finish at the back post is something that we were completely aware of, but few guys were out of position. So that is based on being very naive in these moments. The same is the case when we come out of the dressing room. How we concede our second goal is basically giving them an opportunity again from the start, when we fought so hard to get back into the game with, I think, a good penalty that we forced on Nashville, and one or two good moments in the first half as well with Ojeda and with Nico Mercado. But when you play against Nashville away and the strong opponent that they are, if you give them the goals, it's going to be tough. But the team kept on fighting and, like you mentioned, stayed aggressive, even with the subs coming on, the young guys. And we forced them into one big opportunity with Nico at the end of the game. But we were very unfortunate that one didn't go in.
Michael? Alan?
Hi, Coach. Michael Allen from Press International and Blue City Radio.
Hi, Mike.
I was wondering if you can give us a heads up on Hannes and what was going on with him at the end there, and then talk about your priorities for the World Cup break.
Hannes was a strange one, because I spoke to him just now and he wasn't really aware of what happened, but he had some trouble breathing in that specific moment and couldn't exactly explain what had happened to him. So that was a tough one, because obviously we had to finish the game with 10 players instead of 11, and not knowing what the situation was with Hannes. So he's being looked after now by the medical staff. From a World Cup perspective, I'll be traveling home and watch as many games as I possibly can, and especially rooting for my own guys being in this special tournament.
Michael, you have another one? Great. Go ahead, Michael Lander.
Sorry, Pascal, can I just ask you to elaborate? How long is the break for the players before they have to return back?
We fly back to New York tonight, and then they're off, and we return on the 18th of June to start training again and prep ourselves for the first game after the World Cup against Columbus.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, everybody. We continue this evening's press conference. We have midfielder Andres Perea. If we have any questions, please raise your hand. We'll go with Scott.
Hey, Andres, Scott Schertzen, Stream Punk Soccer. Thanks for the time and tough loss, I know. Talk a little bit about your game plan going into this break right now, training schedule, training regimen, personal schedule too. Thanks, man.
Bueno, creo que el equipo trató de jugar un poco hoy. Creo que se hace un buen trabajo en general. Creo que hace falta aprovechar un poco más las oportunidades que tenemos. No equivocarnos en detalles mínimos, pero creo que el plan viene siendo el mismo de toda la temporada. Tener la pelota, encontrar espacios libres y atacar a la espalda de los rivales en campos como este que nos da la oportunidad y tiempo para hacerlo.
Yeah, on the performance tonight, obviously it's not what we wanted. I think we played well, but we weren't able to capitalize on the opportunities that we had. So in terms of just progression of the team, we want to keep playing the same style that we play, having possession of the ball, running in behind the defense, and just get some positive results. Michael Lander.
Andres, thanks for the time. It's Mike Ander from Blue City Radio. Pascal has talked recently a lot about the injuries and the schedule congestion. In your opinion, do you think that the way the schedule has been constructed with this 2-month break, they tried to put too many games and too much intensity on the players in a short amount of time?
Bueno, creo que no es excusa. Para nadie es un secreto de que han sido semanas un poco cargadas, pero no es excusa para los resultados ni el resultado que sacamos el día de hoy. Creo que también las lesiones nos han afectado un poco. El caso de Maxi, que es una pieza principal en el equipo, nos afectó un montón, pero ahora es simplemente sacar adelante porque todos los equipos tienen la misma cantidad de partidos. Entonces no termina siendo una excusa. Seguir trabajando, seguir encontrando el momento y esperar que todos los jugadores estén disponibles para poder aportar y competir nuevamente todos por una posición y tener la rotación disponible.
Yeah, it's no excuse. All the players all the teams are going through it. We know that it's a congested schedule, and we were preparing for that. But it's just no excuse the amount of games that we've been playing. On the injury front, it's unfortunate. Obviously, losing Maxi was a really big piece for us. He's a very important player for us. So it's a big loss. But we are looking forward to welcoming everyone back from injury and being able to compete for positions and having more flexibility on the rotations. Anyone else? Thank you, everybody.